And what a beautiful reminder that was. The last episode was recorded, and first it got disturbed by the neighbor's car, and then the microphone cut out. And what a beautiful reminder that we get to live this life this way. You know, if that was in the past, I would have been so angry. I probably would have cried. I would have felt that I failed. I would have felt that I wasted my time. I would have had so much anger and hate towards the neighbors, towards the cord. It's a bit bent. So I would have found someone to blame for the cord being bent. And I get to live life this way, where I get to choose how I act and react in a situation. And what a beautiful reminder that is. That I get to choose how I act and react in a situation. I get to go back into my office. I left outside because now the sun is up and it's getting noisy. So I get to walk into my office. I got to make a cup of cacao. And I get to sit in my office and record another episode, which means there will be 2 episodes for you guys. And even though I'm going to speak about exactly the same thing, I will transcribe it in a totally different way, because now I've changed where I've changed. I've changed where I'm sitting. I've probably changed how it's going to come through, and you will be able to enjoy 2 episodes instead of 1. And there the car is again. So what a beautiful reminder that we get to be the creator. We get to be responsible for our life. We get to choose how we live our life. Now that is an absolutely beautiful way of living. So welcome back, everyone. This is part 2. I'm going to call it part 2, but really it could be a freestanding episode if you haven't listened to the first one. First of all, I'm going to take a sip of my cacao. And that's divine. It was my first sip, so it'll probably be a little bit longer than the rest of the sips will be, and that's okay. So I want to come in and talk about becoming. I want to come in and talk about, if you're someone that's been wondering about becoming, you're like, what is becoming and why would I want to be inside becoming? Or if you're someone that have had questions about, I'm trying to get comfortable. If you're someone that's been having questions about compounding time, and what does it mean, and why do we have a coach, and do everyone need to have a coach, and do everyone need to be part of a program or a membership or anything like this? My answer is absolutely no. You don't have to. It depends who you are and what you're here to do in the world, and what you desire, how you desire to live your life. If you want to grow and expand, which, number one, if you are on this podcast and you're someone that do not want to grow and expand, then you're actually on the wrong podcast. This podcast is for the people that are wanting to grow and expand in life and to live the best version, be the best version they can, and live the life to its fullest potential. So if that's not you, then you're most likely on the wrong podcast. Or maybe you hit change your mind. But I totally lost my train of thought. But what I was saying is that becoming, speaking into compounding time. So what does compounding time means? It means that you're doing something in less time. Does that make sense? So you might get a clean of your house so that you don't have to use your time cleaning. Now, for some, that might mean that they can be in their business for that time. For some, it might mean they can be with their children in that time. For some, it might be they can look after their elderly parents in that time. For some, it might mean they can go to work in that time. For some, it means that they just really don't want to clean. Whatever it means that you're compounding time. Now, how do you value that? How do you put time on looking after elderly parents? Or how do you put time on being a present mother? How do you, if you want to compound time, so do you have more time at your job? So if you're earning $60,000 a year, that might look like $30 for you to pay a cleaner $30 to come for an hour to clean. So then you can put a value on that, right, in some sort. Or if you're someone that earns $600,000 a year, maybe that 1 hour of cleaning is worth $300 for you. But it doesn't mean that the cleaner does a different job. It just means that the compounding of time is valued to you differently than for someone else. So how do you put a value on things? I heard someone yesterday, and it's someone that works with people that are wanting to have children, and they have done the IVF route and whatever. They've done all the things. And this woman, she has worked in clinical researches and holistic way. She's done all the things. I'm not going to butcher it because I really don't know the whole story. It was just someone that recapped. But she basically teach couples to have children, like how to become pregnant. And she has like a 98.9% success rate with her clients. Now, how do you value that? How do you value that? Now, she could probably charge $1 million for people to do that program prior to becoming pregnant. Would she want to? No, because she wants it to be available for everyone. So how do you value that? Are you with me? I hope you're understanding what I'm trying to say here. Because this was such a foreign concept for me for a long time. I was like, well, how do you value that? If you can go to a corner store restaurant and get a steak with chips. Or you can go to fine dining and get a steak with chips. Now, you're not really compounding time as such, but it's the same thing, but priced differently. Why? Because there's a value in it. You know, the person that's choosing to go to the corner store and have a steak and chips most likely don't really give too many F's about what they put inside their body. Well, the person that go to the organic fine dining restaurant, they want to make sure they eat good meat. They want to make sure they eat organic potatoes. They want to make sure it's been prepared by someone that is a highly qualified chef and hopefully have some nutritional information, nutritionist, to make sure that what the person receives tastes delicious, but is also really good for them. Now, that's not really compounding time, but it's a matter of putting a value to something. So, having another sip, and I got a feeling this cacao is going to go cold, so I'm going to have to come back to it, and that's okay. Now, I've been doing self-development for 20 years. I've been talking about this a lot lately because it's starting to really make sense to me. Because it's all about the compounding in time. So I've been doing self-development for 20 years. The first 20 years was a ramble, but still it was part of my life. Like I said in the podcast in part number 1, that I had The Secret playing on my DVD player over and over again all day, every day when I was at home. I wasn't watching it, but I was listening to it. Now, that does things to our mind. I did my first vision board in 2007 without really knowing what I was doing. That was a full wall in my cafe. Everything in part 2 things came true, and that was the red Ferrari and the golden Rolex watch, because my higher self didn't really want that. My ego did. Everything else came true. Sailing a boat, living on a yacht. Like, I didn't even know why I put a sailing yacht on there. I just put it on because it looked pretty, but really obviously had something to do in my mind. And so it comes to compounding time. I said in the past episode, I spoke about Say I Do, my previous program. That was my signature program. That was amazing and incredible. 21 days of truly falling in love with yourself and having absolute confidence in who you are. Now, this program is amazing and incredible, and I want it to be available for people, but I don't know what that's going to look like yet, because it's just such a surface. It's not surface. It will show you how you can deeply and completely fall in love with yourself and have absolute confidence in who you are. But it's such a light program. And I had many women going through it. They did over again and they loved it. And it was truly transformative. Like, every single woman that did the program and actually put the effort in to show up and do the program, because I can create it, but I can't make people do it right. They loved it. Absolutely loved it. But as time went, I learned, and as I said in the last podcast, is that I choose to be the student always. And I want to emphasize that, because I choose to be the student I choose to be the best version of myself every single day. And I love growth and expansion. I love it. It means that I get to be more of me. And I love myself so clearly. To be more of me is freaking delicious feeling. And at the moment, I'm studying 2 new modalities, if you want to call, because I choose to learn. I choose to be more. And my partner listened into one of the calls and said, why listen to that? You already know that. And I said, yeah, I know that. But I might receive something in a different way. He actually said, you already know that. Why are you doing that? He said, why do you need another certificate? And I said, I actually don't, because I already know this stuff, but I might soak up something that I haven't heard before, or I might listen to something in a different way. So that's why I choose to do it, because I love learning. I love being the student. And yesterday, when I was one of the volunteers for the breathwork facilitator training, I still had my notepad and pen with me, because I knew that I could hear something that might land differently or might have been said in a different way. I choose to be the student, even though I've done the training and the next step of the training and the third step of the training. I choose to be the student, because it's like I've said this so many times. When you read a book, every time you read a book, you might see it or receive it in a different way. You might understand it in a different way. You might put more notice, especially kids' book. You might see a picture in a different way. You might notice a butterfly that wasn't there before, and it was always there. You just never seen it. So we're always going to see and understand things in different things every time we do it. So what has this had to do with becoming? Becoming is truly about compounding time. Now, how valuable that is for you, it's up to you. Someone said yesterday that when she doesn't go and do a keynote speaking, it's not just about the 45-minute speech. It's about the life she has lived to create that keynote. And it is the preparation prior. It's the time being away from her family. It's the hotel. It's the flight. It's the nervous, like how to deal with her nervous system being nervous before she goes on stage, and how to deal with that after she's been on the stage. It is a whole process. People might go, well, you're only there for 45 minutes. Why did you get paid $20,000? And it's like, because it's not about the 45 minutes on stage. It's how she has got there. But more importantly, what the people listening are going to understand in that 45 minutes that probably could have taken them 10 years to understand otherwise, if she weren't to be on stage speaking about it. Now, does this make sense? I want that to really land for you. It's not about the 45 minutes she spent on stage. It's how much time that is going to compound for the person listening. So when you come into becoming, it's a 6-week program. We meet for 1 hour to 1 hour and a half every single week, once a week, every single week for 6 weeks. Now there's unlimited support of voice note, connection, messages during these 6 weeks. But the thing is that you are going to compound so much time in that 6 weeks that's going to absolutely, completely transform how you receive and experience life, how you act and react to life. It's going to change it. And if for any reason it doesn't change within that 6 weeks, I will stay with you on a one-to-one basis until it does, because I know how profound this program is. It is my 20 years of my past 20 years of life compounded into 6 weeks, so that you don't have to go and do all of the learnings that I have done, so that you don't have to go and listen to all of the podcasts, watch all of the movies, read all of the books. Like just looks like at the book collection there, if you're on the View, like there's a lot of books, like that's not even all of them. And going to the seminars and being part of the programs and investing in the coaches and the mentors and the teachers and all of the things, it is compounding the time, because all of the things that you learn, to be quite honest, basically 30%, and that's a high number, I reckon, this is my truth, 30% of what you learn in that one book or that one podcast or that one container or with that one coach is actually necessary for you. The other stuff is amazing, but you're most likely not going to use it. So like I said in previous podcasts, it's like you go through life and you fall in the hole. We've all fucking fallen in the hole, right? You fall in the hole and you get up. You fall in the hole and you get up. You fall in the hole and you get up. And it's starting to get really tiring. So doing becoming is not going to make you not fall in holes, because life is full of holes. But instead of it being a big, deep black hole that's really fucking hard to get out of, it will be a little lump in the road. And if you, for any reason, fall in a big, deep, dark hole in life after becoming, you will have a rolled up rope ladder in your pocket with an anchor on it, so you can throw it up. It's going to anchor on the surface. You can easily climb up this ladder. What does that mean? It means that you will have the tools and experience, the tools and the knowledge to get you up that ladder. Just take, for example, how this podcast started, that it was cut off because I got distracted from my neighbor's car being loud, and then the cord was wobbling because I started moving because I was getting uncomfortable, because physical reaction to what happens emotionally, he was bothering me. And then the podcast cut out. But this version of myself got to take that experience in a beautiful way. I got to come in here and record again. It didn't make me feel angry. It made me feel a little bit frustrated, like, really? But it wasn't bothering me because I had that rope ladder to climb up that big hole. Previous version of me would have cried, screamed, and done all of the things and felt like a fucking failure. This version is really excited because I get to come in here again. You know what I mean? That's what I mean with the rope ladder. Shit is going to happen in life. It's just, someone said, is the shit ever going to stop? Like, is it ever going to stop? No, it just get to be easier. And I had a client the other day, and she was like, well, I've done all the work. And I had a little giggle, and I said, well, we never have done all of the work. It's an ongoing thing. You can't just stop drinking water because you drank 2 liters of water every day for a week. That doesn't mean that you're going to stay dehydrated and can drop back to 2 cups of water a day. It doesn't work that way. It's a continuous process, but the longer we do it, the more ingrained it becomes, and it just becomes a way of living. Like I said in the previous podcast that got cut off, that don't really think about most of the things anymore. It's just how I choose to live life. So compounding time inside becoming is freaking incredible. It is 6 weeks where you truly get to change the way you experience life. You get to change the way you see life and how you experience life and how you act and react to life. Now that's freaking cool. How do you value that? You know, if you're someone with anxiety and someone said, I do this with my clients, like, well, they come to me and they have anxiety. It's like, what is it worth to you to get rid of your anxiety? I used to live with anxiety every single fucking day for years. Every day for years. And that then grew into panic attacks on a weekly basis. Now, that's not nice. It basically turned him into a psychopath. Yes, I got labels from it because it was driving me. So if someone said to me, this is probably the truth, that if someone said to me at the beginning of that, oh, do you want to come and work with me and I will get rid of your anxiety? I'll probably laugh and said no, because I wasn't ready. So becoming it for the woman that's truly ready, and this is why it's capped at 20 women per round at a maximum. Because I do not want someone that has the funds to invest to be in there because they think they're ready and they will jump in, but they won't show up to the course and they won't do the practices. And they're holding a spot for someone that possibly could have been super ready to actually implement and change their life. That is why it is so important for me that becoming is for the person that's truly ready. So if I put a price ticket on that at like $50, I would have so many people in there clogging up these 20 spots that would just pay the $50 but not give a fuck about the program. They would be taking up space for 20 women that would most likely really be freaking ready. They would be sitting with tears in front of this burning bridge of fire and go, I just want to get over. I'm fucking done being in a black hole and I want to get over. And they're ready to make the changes. I have many people tell me, why don't you just have like 100 people in there? I'm like, yeah, I could, but then I would be spreading myself thin. I want every single woman that come inside becoming to get 110% of me. I want them to get me. I want them to have the access to me, and I don't want to water myself out. I wouldn't fudge and water my cacao, would I? So I don't want to water myself out. It was totally irrelevant. I don't want to water myself up to the women that choose to come and work with me in any matter. So how do you value compounding time? It is a very tricky thing. What is it worth for someone with anxiety? If you're someone with anxiety, what would it be worth for you if someone could show you, get you out of anxiety and teach you, most important fucking piece, teach you how to get out of anxiety. And if it ever came up again, you have the resources and the tools and the knowledge to use the tool to actually get yourself out of that. Boom. That should be mic drop right there. But like I said, if someone offered this to me 10 years ago when I wasn't ready, I would have laughed and I would have said, I'm not fucking ready. Like, what are you talking about? You're going to teach me how to get out of anxiety and I'm going to have to pay for it? That's bullshit. Because anxiety was pretty new for me then. Not really, but it hasn't become such a problem. Or it could be on the other scale of that. It's just part of your normal and you think that's how you're meant to live life until you come out to the other side. Life is such a head fuck, let's be real. Like, it really can be so confusing in that mind. But when you're ready and you're really ready to make changes and you're like, okay, I'm ready, I'm done. I am actually literally done with the way I live my life. I know there is a better way of living my life and that's how I want to live my life. If you're at that stage, then becoming is for you. Now, am I sitting here just to sell you my program? Absolutely not. There's limited spots available and they will fill up and they are filling up because there's women that are really ready to take action into their life and make a change in their life. Why would you come and learn from me? Because I've walked the trenches. I have done the work. Becoming is 20 years of me being a student and learning and implementing, not just me learning, doing the programs, getting the certificate on a freaking wall, but actually me doing the work. Yeah. I was labeled with the things. I did live with the daily anxiety. I was in a not very pleasant marriage. I did have depression every single day and was dependent on medication. I did have panic attacks. I did try to take my life numerous times. You know, I just tried to take other people's life too. Let's tell me that. No, I'm just joking, not joking. But I was in a very not good state. And here I am today, and I most mornings I have tears in my eyes because I sit with so much gratitude. Because I sit on my bench in front of my house and I feel so fucking good. People wait for the long weekend. I met someone that I know in the shop that day and she, yeah, long weekend, finally. I was like, oh yeah. It actually makes no difference for me because every single fucking day is a beautiful day. And I mean that. It's not some bullshit corny thing that I just say. It's my actual truth because I lived in that darkness where I went to bed at night and I was hoping not to wake up in the morning. So to be able to live the life I live my life now and to feel how I feel internally, and key fucking moment, key thing to understand is that it's not your external world that change how you feel internally. I have lived in the same house the past 8 years where I have truly transformed. Whoa. Oh, that's emotional. I have lived in the same external environment for the past 8 years, and in the past 8 years, I've absolutely transformed my life. Now, your external environment does not have to be part of the transformation. Now, we can blame it on the external world, but that's a different story. When you choose to take responsibility of your life, your external environment don't actually have to have anything to do with it. And I'm talking every example, the people around you, the house you live in, the area you live in, the work, your job you're in, they don't have to be part of your transformation. You can internally transform entirely without your external world changing. Now, your environment is extremely important for you as a human being, for your growth, for everything in your life. But it doesn't mean that it has to restrict your transformation. Do you understand that? Your external environment don't have to restrict your internal transformation, but it is incredibly important where in the external world you choose to spend your time. But that doesn't mean it has to restrict it. Really important moment to understand that. I could have sat here for 8 years and said, I'm not going to change my life until I leave this house. I could have, and I did for a while, until I realized that I have to change now. Because tomorrow might not come. So the change has to occur now. I cannot wait for the external component to change, because then I choose to be in a victim seat and then I choose to blame. And when you blame, you're putting your power into other people or other things, which means that you are no longer in control of your life. We've all been there. It's okay. Wow, that was really potent. Thank you, Jenny. So, Becoming 6 weeks. That is going to absolutely transform how you live and experience your life. How you see life, how you experience life, how you act and react to life. And it really is a gift. It is my life work for now to bring becoming into the world. And I've set it up in a very particular way. There is only 4 rounds per year. There is only 20 spots per opening. Now, this might change to 10 spots per opening. Like I said, the first round I had 5, the second round I had 10, and the next round we have 20. And I want to make sure that I do not spread myself thin. Does that mean I don't have the capacity to be present for 20 people? No, it doesn't. I have the capacity to be, I've been holding space for 50 people at a time. I have more than enough capacity for that. That's not what it's about. But if I were to have 50 people to have me in their pocket every single day, 24 hours a day for 6 weeks, I would deplete it in myself. And I would not gift 110% of myself to every single of them 50 women. Now, that would be being of disservice for myself and for others, and that's not where I want to be. I hope you understand that. I want to, and I will be giving 110% of myself, because you have taken the step to say, I want to change my life. I'm going to financially invest into this, and I'm going to invest my time into this, which means you're taking time away from other things you could do. You're using money that you could have used for other things. And you're getting out of your comfort zone because you're saying yes to something that is going to feel a bit scary, because transforming your life is fucking scary. I tell you that. It's amazing, but it feels scary. It's like, oh my God, it's a big deal. And I honor that because I've been in the stages, and I honor that. And if you're not ready, that's okay. I did so many things for free, without any commitment to time, without any commitment to financial exchange, without any commitment to anything. And I did the things. And I'm not going to sit here saying that they were nothing. They were a ton of things. They meant lots to me. They're all seeds in this beautiful soul garden, but not as profound as when I started financially investing, and more than anything, started to invest my time, and I really mean it. I watched a training yesterday. I watched at that training. How many people? I don't even know how many people was in the room. Maybe 50, maybe 30. I actually don't know. 4, 8, 12, 16. I think there was about between 30 and 40 people in the room. I watched them. And there was people in there that had invested their finances, they invested time, but they weren't investing. They had invested their finances, so they invested their money, they paid to be there, but they hadn't invested their time. Because I watched these people And there was like, for numerous reasons, right? And there is no judgment on this. But there was faces that was not ready to invest their time. And that's okay. We're all going to go through that stage. And that's absolutely all right. But this is what I mean. This is why it's limited to 20 people, because I don't want people coming inside becoming and taking up space for people that are actually ready. But if you are ready and you've been in that dark hole for long enough and you're like, I'm fucking ready to get out. And I don't want to get in here again. And if I ever get in here again, I want to have that ladder that I pull out of my pocket and I throw it over and I just climb out of this hole. Like it was a little lump and hump of the road, because we're always going to have humps and lumps in the road, because that's called life. So compounding time is something really interesting. You know, people compound finances on the Web3, whatever it's all called. You know, someone might put $100,000 into that to make however much money. Someone might put $1,000 or $10,000 into it to make money. And for some, that's amazing. And for others, it's like, oh no, I'm not doing that. And it's all different for all of us. But yeah, I just want you to understand that this life, you get to do whatever you want in this life, as long as you're not hurting people. Peace come from a place of unconditional love. But you get to live your life how you desire to live your life. And the only limitations you have in your life is the limitations you place on yourself. Now, let's say that again. The only limitations that you have in life are the limitations you place on yourself. Yes, we can blame it on other people and say they're putting limitations on us. But if we allow for other people to put limitations on our life, that means that we're not in full leadership, responsibility of our own life. We have gifted over the responsibility for our life onto other people. And that means that we're not the creator. We are the creator of our life, but we're not the conscious creator of our life. We're not taking responsibility of our life. We're still in that rocking chair going back and forth, wishing to move forward, but we refuse to get out of the rocking chair, right? If you're allowing for other people, let this land. If you are allowing for other people to have control of your life, then your life is limitless, because you are not taking control of your life. You're handing over your power to other people. Now, this might be, my parents want me to have this for a job. My partner won't let me spend money on this. My children won't let me have the time for myself. All of these things, they might be real and they might be true, but when you take ownership of your life, you do not let these dictate you, because you have ownership of your life. You take responsibility for your life because you want to live your life your way. You have realized that your life is a gift. You have realized that you're responsible for your life. You have realized that all you desire is available for you. It's just a matter of taking action. We can blame as much as we want. And as I spoke in a couple of episodes ago about being in that hyper state and the hypo state, when we're in the hyper state, how we're I'm defending myself because everyone is after just chopping me down. That's okay. But being in that state, you're not actually in control of your life. When you have the awareness and you're realizing you move into that state, you move straight out of it, because no one desires to be in there. Yeah? Potent, very potent. I would love to know, if you've listened to the whole episode, what you think about it. If you received anything from this episode that you're like, whoa, that's potent, please share it. Take me onto your social media, onto all of the things. If you listen for a while, you know that I have a beautiful, funny relationship with social media. But if you have listened to this podcast and you truly received something from it and you enjoyed it, please make sure you go and share it with the world, because when you share it with the world, that means that my word, my wisdom, my knowledge gets shared to the world. And my mission is to absolutely get as many women in particular to fall deeply and completely in love with themselves and have absolute confidence in who they are, so that they can live their life to its fullest potential. Why? Because I want my daughter to live in a future that is freaking magical and amazing and incredible, and be surrounded by people that deeply and completely love themselves and have absolute confidence of who they are, so that they can run this world in a beautiful way where people live their life to its fullest potential, where people know that their dreams is at the tip of their fingers and not somewhere high up in the sky they got to reach for, they're never going to reach. That's where I want her to live. And I want all of us to live like that. And because I've seen the change in myself and the transformation in myself, and I've been on the other side of that bridge, and I'm here now, and it's fucking delicious. I spoke to someone that I look up to, someone that is absolutely incredible and amazing and do magical things in life, and said, I sat on the driveway the other day in a camping chair and I watched my kids playing with chalk, and I realized that that was just the most beautiful, amazing moment of my life. And I said, yes, and that's why I spent a whole year sitting for 2 hours in my driveway every single fucking day, because that process got me to here, plus so many other things. And I really sit at the front of my house every day, and like I said, I have tears of appreciation of my life. I'm so grateful for my life, and I feel so fucking good. Listening to the birds, seeing the sun coming through the palm leaves, listening to the rain on the tin roof, seeing the stars twinkling in the sky, feeling the earth underneath my feet, sipping on a cup of cacao, getting a warm cuddle from my girl when she wakes up, waking up with my man, heat the kettle up for him to make his chili jet drink. For me, that is life being full. It feels fucking good. And I've been on the other hand, I've been on the hand where I didn't want to leave bed because I was hoping the day was never going to come. And that makes me emotional, because to lay in bed wishing for the day to never come, and doing that for years, and then waking up and getting through the day with medication, with panic attacks, with anxiety, with eating disorder, with violence, with, so many things. And then come to this stage where I lay in bed every morning and I smile. I'm excited for the day. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. I'm excited for the day. I have a hand on my womb, connecting to my womb, feeling the heat from the palm of my hand connecting to my womb, feeling so grateful for my body. Having a hand on my heart space, feeling my heartbeat, just feeling so grateful for this life. Grateful for my body, the body that I used to hate and punish. And now feeling so much love and gratitude for my body, for this life. And I just smile, and I'm so grateful for this life that I get to wake up and live this beautiful world, live this beautiful life, and teach other women how to come to that state. Oh, fucking hell, guys. Even to just say that out loud is so delicious. Life get to be this beautiful. It really does. And for someone, it might sound really very flossy and delusional and stupid, and that's okay, because I get it. But actually gets to be the truth. All right, guys. Wherever you're at, there's heaps of free resources being uploaded onto my website. And if you are ready, just go and sign up for Becoming. It's going to change your life. It comes with guaranteed results if you are ready to commit. I'll see you in there. So much love, guys. So much love. And if you are in Australia, on the Gold Coast, Brisbane area, Northern New South Wales area, there's amazing events coming up for the next 4 weeks. That's cool. Every single week for the next 4 weeks, there's some amazing in-person events coming up. So go and check my website out, jennyoceans.com. On the socials, I am Jenny Oceans. The way you see me is the way I show up every single time. I'm not here to polish anything. I am me. I teach people to love themselves for who they truly are, not for the polished version of themselves. There's going to be no filters or polishing on my life, because I don't believe in that. Life is beautiful just the way it is. It gets to be as beautiful as you choose for it to be. All right, guys, I'm so incredibly proud of you for spending this time on your growth, spending this time on learning, expanding, spending this time on you, because spending time on yourself can sometimes feel really hard and challenging. I'm proud of you. I see you. And I celebrate you. And please know that my inbox is always open for you. connect@jennyoceans.com. And also, please know you can always go on my website and book in for a free connection chat. Sometimes that's all that's needed in life. So make sure that if you feel anything, I hope you do. You're a human. We're meant to feel things. Go and jump on my website if you feel called. If you've been here to the end, you definitely feel a connection to who I am. And you either hate listening to me, and that's why you want to continue listening to, because your mind is wired to trigger yourself, trigger that addiction, and bring on that addiction of surrounding yourself with people you don't like, or you're here because you feel an alignment and you want more. So go and book a call on my website, jennyoceans.com. Go and book a free connection call, and I'll chat to you soon. So much love, guys. So much love. Ciao.